I'm so impressed with Eric's setup now. He looks like a professional gamer.
I need, I need video games to be a gamer, though.
You got the gamer glasses on, you got the gamer soundproof booth, you got the lights. Dare I say, you're a gamer, bro. We need to get to a lighter tone. Relationships are super important, especially now during the pandemic, and dating during the pandemic has been a fire hole. Now, me as a single black man has found myself in an awkward position. I live in a place where my desired taste in women is not readily available. Not to say that I don't love all women. Y'all know I love y'all. But if I had a preference, I have a black woman in mind. And I don't owe anyone an explanation for that. That's something
if people don't have eyeballs and can't tell why you would prefer a black woman, then we got a bigger problem we can address in another episode.
Yeah, when I say that and somebody says, "But what about the white women?" Hey, Karen, relax, okay?
Listen, don't get it twisted. Heero is still bed down your daughter. Yeah. He definitely will. Don't get it twisted. Just doesn't mean that she doesn't rank number one on his preference for a wife. She's probably 2 or 3, probably 3.
The thing,
just being honest.
But the thing is, like, I've been doing a lot of app dating and a lot of online dating.
Oh, snap!
and it's changed, and the landscape of dating has changed drastically, and the pandemic has forced people to adapt accordingly. And what I found is, I used to have the app when everyone could be outside, and the app was sort of a secondary thought.
Yeah.
Now the app is the forefront, and I've just been. I just want to talk about what I've seen and changed in the app, and the things that I wish. I want women to know about this app before jumping into it, because, like,
okay, hold on. Before we do that, like, let me talk about me for a second, because y'all know, if y'all been watching, y'all know your boy. I just had my 7th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been knowing my wife for 10 years, and so I never did the online dating thing at all. I don't know about the websites. I hear about them, the Tinders, the OkCupids, the Grinders, and Farmers Only, Black People Meet.
Farmers Only.
Ashley Madison.
Muslims meet.
Muslims meet. See, I don't even exactly. All this stuff sounds ridiculous to me, but I don't want to insult anybody, because I know this is the modern way to date. So can we just give a little bit of can you, before you go into the apps, can you break them up and say, this site's for this kind of relationship?
So let's do that. Eric, I envy Eric and Shawnee's relationship forefront, because they did their 7th anniversary, and that means Eric has had to live a life of 7 years where he hasn't had to deal with this bullshit. So outright, there are different apps, and let me flat out say, all dating apps are used to do dating activities. Dating activities is by your definition. What you expect and what you get is based on what you put forth. So for any platform, if you go to christianmeetsmingles.com and you have nothing but Instagram ass shots, you're going to get a horny person on your page, regardless of what the platform says. So don't think because you're going to a specific site that you're automatically going to get. It helps filter it. Like, I'm not going to go to Christian Mingles. You don't have to worry about a Muslim probably showing up. But if you did run into a Muslim, that's still on you to deal with that. That's like, it's a dating app first. It's a social construct. It's a social experiment that you're agreeing to engage with whenever you swipe right. So there are particularly 3 apps that I deal with. And these 3 apps, I do 3 different things on them. And based on how I match with you on each app will dictate how I treat you. Now, that might sound weird, but that is literally how it's designed. And clearly, one app gets way more attention from me than the other ones. So we'll start off with the worst app for me personally, which I think is Bumble. And Bumble is a very interesting app because it gives women complete control. The app lets you like women, but you cannot contact a woman until she likes you back. So until she likes you back, it doesn't matter what the thing. And the women actually have extra perks on their side of the app that give them more ability to kind of see who you are as a person.
Okay, let me ask you something here, because that's an interesting notion.
Mhm.
Bumble gives women the ability to, you can like them, but you can't
You won't,
communicate with them.
yeah, you won't
So
know if they
he,
like you or anything until they
okay,
until
so
they get
so
permission.
so here's the question that I have in my head. Like, it's 2020, almost 2021. I get it. It seems like the first app that's giving women the majority of it puts the onus on them to reach out to the guy. But is it really how women want the start of their relationship to go to, man? Even if she's pursuing him for sex, or if she's pursuing him for a relationship, it's her throwing out the bait and then hoping that he says or does the right thing to pique her interest to make it go somewhere. Is that how most guys like really operate? And just based on your interactions you've had with women, either on the app or just out and about, do they prefer to make the first move, or would they prefer that men make the first move?
All the women I've dealt with, I've made the first move on them. And if by first move you mean they like them first, so be it. But I consider the first move me engaging in conversation. If you see a picture of me that you like, that's just like on Instagram, you can double tap that. But if I go in your DMs, that's me shooting my shot.
Yes.
But it's also based on whether, because a lot of women feel like if I like your picture, that's me telling you it's free game. But I also have people I call sisters who like hundreds of my picture, and you don't see me shooting free throws on their DM rim. Like the level of engagement is different for men and women. Men, I have to make a concerted effort, a noticeable effort. A woman can get plausible deniability by saying, I liked 100 of his pictures. That's what it's there for. He left me 100 messages. Which one of those sounds worse?
Yeah.
Exactly. So like for me, it's always gonna be a man. The onus is always gonna be on a man to make the first move. But it's 2021. If a woman approached me at a bar and was like, "Can I join you?" That's your shot, and I will answer accordingly based on what I see. So I'm not opposed to it, but I'm okay with it. But the engagement that I've always found on Bumble has been sort of this power struggle, because you're waiting on someone to respond to you. So if you're putting out the feelings that you like someone, and the person isn't reciprocating that, me as a black person, I just assume that person I like never saw my like. But it actually notifies the women right away that this person likes you. Meanwhile, the women can like you, but it won't tell you as a man which women like you. But there's an algorithm where they show up more often in your feed, which I don't buy it into. Like, I base it on things. So it's one of those weird things where someone is like me, and I hate to say this, but the women that find me attractive are not ideally the women I find attractive.
And that's saying something, because the statistics show that 80% of the women on average are interested in only 20% of the men that patronize those social media apps. And then for men, it's literally a coin flip. 50% men, the majority, 80% of the men on these platforms find half of the women on the platforms attractive. So for you to be getting hit up, and then the statistics are actually in the woman's favor for you to find her attractive, and yet you still don't, that says something about either one, your standard, or two, how unattractive or unappealing I won't say unattractive, how unappealing the profile was. Because some of these girls probably look good, but they probably put something on that was unsavory.
And we'll talk about the profile segment a little bit later, but let's then push to the next of the two apps I use, which is Tinder, which is the second best app that I find to use. And Tinder, I have to admit, is something that I've had since I was in college. So I've been on this platform the longest, but I use it probably the least out of all of them, because as I've gotten older, the purpose of it or the value of it has decreased. Tinder's become a sort of a pocket of itself of like degenerates, honestly. These are people, because it's like people are looking for weird things on here. And Tinder's known for being a hookup app. It started hookup culture. Like that's where the term came from. You swipe right, someone swipes right too, you guys go bump uglies together. But now it's sort of evolved into people taking their modes of expression and pushing it out there, because Tinder gives you the ability to be a couple and date couples, or be a single person looking for couples, or to be a person of other amalgamations of gender identity and conformity, and look for these people of other identity, gender, and conformities, but also has another branch of it where it lets you just be friends with these people or be friends with benefits with these people. It has categories and tiers. And because Tinder has the longest run in the dating app world, it has a way bigger population, which makes it way more susceptible to spam accounts, Instagram bots, and it really has turned into, hey, a bunch of OnlyFans women posting a few pictures and telling you to join their OnlyFans. So it's there are algorithms that you can see where you run into fake profiles where they just want you to swipe right so you can join this girl's OnlyFans page. And with that being said, thank God that is giving you the ability to sort of condense how you want to see, but the thing that I don't like about Tinder is you can see a fake profile from a mile away. The algorithm has made up some funny saying, and even if you swipe right on it, it'll communicate with you as long as you're giving it basic responses like, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, had a bored day. People don't talk like that. People don't respond like that. You can tell when it's a fake bot. So I've always found Tinder to be a quick hookup app, but I don't think I've actually physically gone to meet someone from Tinder since the age of 30. Like, it's just really just there for me to kind of gauge what's bullshit on the internet, to be honest.
Okay.
It's a scale for me, which then leads to the most prominent app that I'm using right now, which is Hinge. And for Hinge to be free, I feel it's the most well-rounded free app with the most high-quality women on it. I give Hinge total credit for the freedom and reliability I have in it, because it allows you to pick women based on height, workout, education, their conformed sex identity. So it's one of those things where, and I'll use Tinder as an example. On Tinder, you can say you're a woman and not be a woman. You can physically No. I know what you're gonna say. No, you're really a man. You are sexually identify as a man. You are a man, but you can switch your gender at any point so you can see what the other side looks like. So in that instant, if there's a guy being nosy and I'm swiping through and I see a guy pop up on my screen, I'm like, why is this here? There should be an incognito mode, basically, is what I'm saying, which Hinge does give you the ability to do. You can take yourself out of the rotation and look at the other side, or see what people see when they look at your side. So that part. But I appreciate Eric, of all people, stopping me before I make a liberal fallacy.
Hey man, no man, you're about to commit a crime and get us
shadow
a strike on a community strike on the YouTubes. And I don't want that.
So how does Hinge work? Hinge gives you the option to like people's picture or prompts. And their prompts could be interesting fact about them, or it could be just the picture. But above all else, it gives you and it tells both parties at the same time when someone likes you. So you both know. And it's sort of like a timer, because every time Hinge gives you a notification about the person, that is the algorithm letting you know that this person is looking at your profile. So every time you get a notification, you can literally count how many times someone has looked at your profile. And the thing that, once again, I like about it is high quality women. And this is no disrespect to the women on the other apps, because I've also seen women on all three apps. But based on where I saw you is my feeling of you. So it's important to make your app as appealing, your application, pick an appealing app, one, but make your application appealing. And we can get into that now about how I assess profiles.
Shorty on my line and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night. Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope the end is sight. Slow it down and we can catch the vibes.